Hi everyone, welcome back to the show. I'm Phillip. In this episode, we are focusing on one core theme from the book, The Meaning of Being Ordinary. When many people hear the word ordinary, they immediately feel uncomfortable. It can sound like not good enough, not talented enough, not successful enough. But Kishimi is trying to loosen a deep misunderstanding. He asks us a very honest question. Are we too attached to the idea that we had to be special? In Adlerian psychology, everyone has feelings of inferiority, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It can motivate us to grow. The problem starts when we believe the only way to prove our worth is to be better than others. When surpassing others becomes our main goal, life turns into an endless competition, and competition easily turns into anxiety. Many people study hard, work long hours, build a personal brand, and chase achievement. On the surface, it looks like they are pursuing excellence, but if we are honest with ourselves, we might ask, am I doing this because I truly love it, or because I'm afraid I'm not good enough? When your motivation comes from I must win, what you are really chasing is superiority, not stable confidence. And superiority is fragile. The moment someone outperforms you, you start doubting yourself. That kind of confidence depends on rankings, titles, awards, and numbers. Once those external labels shake, your inner security shakes too. So, what is real confidence? Adler offers a simple but profound answer: self-acceptance. Real confidence doesn't come from beating others. It comes from knowing that even if I'm imperfect right now, my existence still has value. This kind of confidence is quiet. It doesn't need to show off. It doesn't need constant proof. When you can accept both your strengths and your limitations, you are no longer terrified of failure. Because failure no longer means you as a person are a failure. It just means something didn't work this time. When someone lives in a constant comparison, the world looks like a battlefield, and everyone else looks like a rival. But when someone lives in a self-acceptance, the world starts to look like a place of collaboration, and other people become partners instead of enemies. That's a huge shift. When you feel secure inside, you can genuinely celebrate other people's success. You don't secretly hope they fail. You begin to experience joy through contribution, not through winning, and that kind of joy is deeper and more lasting. There's also an important difference between focusing on result and focusing on process. If you work hard only to prove yourself, you will be terrified of making mistakes. Because mistakes seem to say, I am not good enough. But if you believe you already have value, you can treat mistakes as part of learning. The logic changed from I'm worthy because I win to because I'm already worthy, I'm willing to try. When you reverse that order, the pressure in your life drops significantly. Kishimi also reminds us that accepting being ordinary doesn't mean going with the flow or giving up independent thinking. It doesn't mean blindly following the crowd. In fact, when you are no longer obsessed with being special, you actually have more mental space to think clearly about what you truly want. Sometimes society moves in unhealthy direction like bullying culture, extreme competition, or blind worship of success. If everyone stays silent, unhealthy norms become normal. In those moments, simply saying, I disagree, in a calm and steady way can be an act of courage. It doesn't have to be dramatic. It doesn't have to be heroic. It's just standing firmly on your value. At the same time, we need to be careful about another trap, being different just for the sake of being different. Some people deliberately oppose everything or act rebellious just to stand out. On the surface, it looks independent, but deep down, they are still controlled by other people's opinion. They are just seeking attention in a different way. True ease means that even if you choose the same path as everyone else, you do it because you genuinely want to, not because you are afraid of being excluded. The key is always your motivation, not the form of your behavior. The book gives many everyday examples. In school, for instance, some children realize that if they can't get attention by being good, they can at least get attention by being bad. For them, being scolded is still better than being ignored. That's often a sign that they cannot accept being ordinary. In the workplace, some employees strongly disagree with their boss' decisions, but they stay silent because they are afraid of being excluded. Over time, they begin to feel like strangers to themselves. Kishimi also shared his own experience with illness. When someone loses physical strength or the ability to work, it's easy to question their value. But he gradually realized that even if he couldn't produce or achieve anything, his existence as a human being still had meaning. That's a very deep form of self-acceptance. So, how can we apply this idea in real life? Let me suggest a few simple practices. First, remind yourself daily, even if I don't achieve anything great today, my existence still has value. It sounds simple, but if you truly take it in, it can slowly change your attitude toward yourself. Second, reduce unconscious comparison. Social media often make it seem like everyone else is living a more exciting life, but what you are seeing are carefully selected highlights. Try muting or unfollowing accounts that trigger anxiety. Bring your attention back to your real, present life. Third, practice expressing different opinions in group setting. You don't need to attack anyone or become emotional. Just calmly state what you think. That's a way of taking responsibility for yourself. Fourth, learn to distinguish between what I truly want and what others have. So I think I should have it too. A lot of anxiety comes from confusing other people's expectations with our own needs. Let me share a few examples. Take Lady Gaga. At the height of her fame, she was under immense pressure to always be avant-garde, always number one. She later realized that her obsession with charm and applause was connected to the bullying and insecurity she experienced in her youth. When she began to separate market expectation from her true needs, her life started to shift. She co-founded the Born This Way Foundation and spoke openly about mental health. Instead of focusing only on shocking performance and awards, she began using her music to support and accompany others. The shift from proving herself to accepting herself made her art deeper and more grounded. Thank you for listening. I'm Phillip. I will see you next time, and we will keep practicing this feeling of ease together.